Welcome to Shed Sessions Unplugged, and we are away from the shed, and we are in the White House pub by Tap Social, and I'd like to thank them for providing this wonderful venue and wonderful drinks and great hospitality. They've looked after us since we arrived here at 5 o'clock, and we've been allowed to change this room and put stuff around it and trying to make it feel like the shed, but away from the shed. So thank you to them, and thank you to this wonderful band that I'm looking at now, and they're called the Flaming Keys, and it's fronted by Mila Todd. And Mila first did a shed session with Tiger Mendoza, and I was so happy to meet Mila in that first session, and I contacted her shortly afterwards and said, Mila, can we work on a session together? And Mila was, again, really gracious, really kind, and said yes. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, let's go with it. And we did another amazing shed session, which you can also find in the list of shed session podcasts that we've done. And during that first Tiger Mendoza show, when Mila was with Ian, she mentioned a 90s cover band, and I was really interested in that because I consider myself a bit of a 90s child. I guess I was born in the 70s, but during the 90s is when I started to discover the power of music and got really involved with it. I think that's all I spoke about at school, in the corridors, before lessons, and I found some allies who would speak about music, and we were into that whole grunge scene at the time, and I don't listen to a lot of it anymore. I've kind of changed my avenues, but I always go back. It's my kind of rock. And when Mila said she did a 90s cover band, I was like, hang on, can we get them in? And I think it just didn't work out at the time, but I never forgot. And while I was thinking of this Shed Sessions Unplugged thing, I thought it would be nice to have that same feeling with, I don't know if any of you saw Nirvana MTV Unplugged. That was good. Thanks, Joe. And then Pearl Jam did an MTV Unplugged. Alanis Morissette did one. The Cranberries did one. REM. Loads of bands in the 90s were doing it. And I thought, well, the Flaming Keys is a 90s cover band. Let's do like an MTV Unplugged, but a Shed Sessions Unplugged, which is a lot better. And I hope we can recreate that. I put some candles around. I remember the Nirvana one. There were loads of candles and lilies, I think. But lily is that like flower of death, isn't it? So I didn't want to do that. And that performance by Nirvana was something special. And I remember watching it on TV in South Africa and then rushing to the record shop and saying, like, can I get this? And they said, what is it? And I felt I was the first person in Johannesburg to ask about Nirvana MTV Unplugged. Obviously I wasn't, but it came out and then it just filled the shelves, and I had my CD copy with a little Tipex blob on it because I used to take it to parties. I used to carry my CDs around in a case, and all my discs had a little Tipex blob on it, on the case and on the disc. I've still got a few of those knocking about. But this is a dream come true. I cannot believe we're going to hear some 90s tunes unplugged, sung by my favorite artist, Mila. Oh, the other's also my favorite, but me. But Mila Todd, it's just been wonderful to know you. And I remember when I asked you about this show, I had been in the truck store, which is called Rapture in Whitney, the record store. And I like that one because you can get parking, and I don't know, it's just a nice, I do cycle a lot, but I don't want to cycle to Whitney, but I do like it. It's a nice change from the one on Cowley Road, which I love too, but I think they see me in there too often, so I like to go somewhere else also. And I picked up a copy of the Night Shift magazine, and Milo was on the front cover. And I read the article. I was so excited. I called Mila up and I said, this is wonderful. I got a copy, and I was also thinking of doing this. And Mila said, yeah, that's great. And then a few months later, I was at the kiosk for Cinema Under the Stairs making popcorn, because that's what I do, and I'm the kiosk guy. And I make hot dogs and popcorn. And Jan, who is Alex's partner, my photographer, came and said, have you read that Night Shift article with Mila Todd? And I was like, yeah, I read it. She said, she mentioned you, and she mentioned you up there with Divine Schism, that big promoter in Oxford, and some others. Forgive me, I don't remember who they are, but I don't remember who they are. Jan did. And I said, no, I read the article. And then Jan sent me a photo of that piece where Mila spoke about me, and she said that I was doing a really good job promoting bands, and people like us help the Oxford music scene, and I was really flattered. But I asked you to do this before I knew you wrote that piece in the magazine. But Mila, I'm so looking forward to this, and I'd like to go straight in, and then maybe we could introduce the band after your first song. But yeah, should we go for it?
Thank you. We also encourage you to sing along because it's, 90s nostalgia.
Faces cursing loud, changing places, falling proud. Behind the bomb, no one cares. Time is money, we're taught to tear. It's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. And it's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. Can we show how to feel? Situation ain't so real. Chopping wood won't stop the rage. We are targets on a war we wage. It's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. And it's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. They grab till it's gone. Attempt to grow and fix undone. And I am the way is all to scale. We're companions on which we sail. 'Cause it's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. And it's all part of the process. We all love looking down. All we want is some success, but the chance is never around. And it's all part of the process. We all love looking with the chance. Thank you.
The Flaming Keys, wow. Mila, can you introduce the band for us, please?
So you got Simon on guitar, you got Ian on bass, you got David on drums. Oh my God, I knew I was going to do this. Rob, of course, this is Rob. Rob on the guitar.
That's okay, Mila.
Hates me now.
I forgot. I thought Emma had already been on stage and she hadn't. So don't worry about it.
Too many names at a time. I can't do it. Too much pressure.
But that's sounding exactly how I was hoping it would sound. It sounds like those unplugged sessions, and I don't know what's happened, but it sounds perfect. And I think everyone agrees it kind of takes you back to those moments. I remember watching it over and over and eventually getting the VHS cassette. I think I got Bob Dylan Unplugged and Eric Clapton Unplugged, and I think Sinead O'Connor maybe did something, and yeah, it's sounding perfect. And it's so good to hear how versatile your voice is and how you adapt and change. And I know your main solo work is electronic based, and you've recently released something which is very special. Do you want to say something about that? I know it's a Flaming Keys gig, but I don't think they'd mind.
Go for it.
I released a new EP called Deaf to the Operator. And there's 3 tracks on there: Dress Code, Doll's Dream, and Death to the Operator. And it's out on Bandcamp.
And it's certainly worth a listen. It's so good, and it's a great privilege to have you here with the Flaming Keys, who I've wanted to hear for ages. So thanks for bringing all this equipment and that amazing bass drum with the flames, a flaming guitar. Look at that. Wow. I can imagine that on like a wheel on the back of a Jeep or something. You know how sometimes they have those, or like an amazing big truck that drives interstate, like airbrushed on the side. That is awesome. Who did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The image that we use for kind of our brand is the flaming guitar, and then they managed to turn it into a drum cover, which is amazing. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it sure does. Can't wait for the next tune. What's it going to be?
Are we doing high and dry next? High and dry.
Next tune is High and Dry.
Ooh. We're in Oxford.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Flying on your motorcycle, watching all the ground beneath you drop. You kill yourself for recognition, kill yourself to never ever stop. You broke another mirror, you're turning into something you are not. So don't leave me high, don't leave me dry, don't leave me high, don't leave me dry. up in conversation, you will be the one who cannot talk. All your insides fall to pieces. You just sit there wishing you could still make love. They're the ones who hate you when you think you've got the world all sussed out. They're the ones who'll spit at you. You will be the one screaming out. So don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. The best thing that you've ever had. The best thing that you've ever had. It's the best thing that you've ever had. The best thing that you had is gone away. So don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Thank you.
What a treat to hear that in a pub in Oxford. You must, or Milo or some of the band must have some Radiohead stories. I think everyone who lives in Oxford has a Radiohead story. I know Chris back there has a few, and I have a few, but any here?
He's very shy, Tom York. When you see him, you want to say hello and you want to tell him how great he is, but then you hear these stories where he just blanks people. Because like famous people come up to him and go, "You're amazing." He's like, "I don't know you." It's like it's Brad Pitt or someone. So I saw him in a graveyard walking through, and I was like, "Is that?" And he just ducked his head, walked past. And I was like, I won't say hello then, obviously, but that's how it is. You know, he's just a very reserved person, isn't he?
I nearly ran him over once.
On purpose? Or
Not on purpose, no. He was out running with, a friend or a personal trainer, and he just ran out in front of me. So I managed to just avoid running over Tom York, which might have changed the course of Radiohead a little bit.
Anyone met him, spoken to him, or just nearly run him over?
Over.
That's the thing, we stay away. I've seen him loads.
Yeah.
He went in Taylor's for lunch one day, I heard, and someone put some Radiohead on, he just got up, walked out. Took his lunch.
Yeah, it's like my favourite album's OK Computer. He hates that album, so I'm not going to go up with album Chase My Life.
He does hate it, which I was shocked by. I think OK Computer's a good one, but he said something horrible about rock music. I think he was really keen on going full-on electronic, and Kid A was perfect for that, but he was quite mean about that. I've stood next to him in the gents' loo, and I weed next to him. I guess that's what you say. But I know what you're all thinking. I didn't look down. I kept looking straight ahead, and yeah, I just said hi to him, and then I bumped into him a few times, I think, and eventually I thought, no, I'm gonna ask him for his autograph, and we were in Oxfam on Broad Street. And he was looking at some watches in the cabinets. You know, sometimes they got more expensive stuff in the cabinets. And he was looking at that, and I was thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And then I thought, oh, what the hell, I'll do it. And I grabbed a little leaflet off the counter in the shop and borrowed one of their pencils. Or I think it was a pen, actually, because I've still got the little thing with it. And I went up to him and I said, I'm really sorry, but could you sign this for me? And he kind of looked at me a bit dazed. And then I gave him the piece of the leaflet and the pen, and he signed it. And he's got this amazing signature, TH, and then the O goes like concentric circles, but kind of what you'd expect from someone like him. And that was that moment. But yeah, I've got loads of stories. We could spend all night chatting about it. But I kind of, I don't know if I should have gone up to him, but I did. And anyway.
Really saw someone amazing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Yeah. Should we go into another song? And then, there's a few questions that I have about this whole 90s scene. And but I'd love to hear another tune.
Just a girl.
Whenever you're ready. Ready?
Divas.
Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? This world is forcing me to hold your hand. 'Cause I'm just a girl, little old me. Well, don't let me out of your sight. Oh, I'm just a girl, oh, pretty and petite. So don't let me have any rights. Oh, I'm headed up to you. The moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. I can't do those little things that I love so dear, 'cause it's all those little things that I feel. 'Cause I'm just a girl, I'd rather not be, 'cause they won't let me drive late at night. Oh, I'm just a girl, take a good look at me, 'cause you're typical prototype. Oh, I'm just a girl, guess I'm some kind of freak, 'cause they all sit and stare with their eyes. Oh, I'm headed up to you. Oh, am I making myself clear? I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that they'll let me be. 'Cause I'm just a girl living in captivity. A rule of thumb makes me worrisome. Oh, I'm just a girl. What's my destiny? What I've succumbed to is making me numb. Yeah, I'm just a girl. My apologies. What I've become is so good and so. Yeah, I'm just a girl. Lucky me. Twiddledum, there's no comparison. Oh, I've had it up to. Oh, I've had it up to. Oh, I've had it up to you.
Thank you.
I've got a Gwen Stefani story too. She was.
Her autograph.
No, I didn't. She was
Be
with.
next to her.
No. I was at the Notting Hill Carnival, and I was she was there, and she was with Gavin Rossdale from Bush at the time, and it was kind of a strange meeting, because shortly after that I went to a Bush gig in Brixton Academy, and I ended up getting chicken pox. I was 21, I think. I was right at the front. But anyway, I had a photo, and that photo's gone. I don't know where it is. It was when you took photos and printed them off. And yeah, it's gone. Hopefully one day it might resurface. But how have you chosen these songs? I know you do various gigs and you do these 90s covers and noughties covers. How do you choose what you're going to play?
Well, with this one, we have a set list for our normal gigs, if you like, which is 25, 26 songs long now. Like you say, we do 90s and noughties, kind of alt rock, so Radiohead, lots of Green Day, Muse, quite sort of heavy guitars, loud drums, and we're quite a loud rock band. So we were taking a look through that set list, thinking, what on earth can we do unplugged? And we had that sort of Nirvana thing in our head when we were looking at this as well. But we chose a set of songs which we thought would translate well into acoustic guitars. We could tone down on the drums, accentuate Mila's voice, obviously. So we came up with this short list. So we've got a few things that we play frequently. We've got a few things that we don't play frequently, which I'm sure you can hear because we're chronically under-rehearsed. And then we've got something we were rehearsing the other day, and we actually played one of the songs we were playing our normal set, which we didn't think would translate to this setting at all, but it really worked. So we're going to try that a little later, so see if you can guess which one that one is. But yeah, we kind of went through that sort of process of selecting the songs based on what we thought would work. So hopefully it's working. Let us know, won't you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely working. It's got that feel and that 90s unplugged feel, and I'm enjoying it very much. It sounds brilliant. And what song have we got next?
What are we doing next?
Lithium.
Yes,
Ooh.
one of your Nirvana songs, so we are going to have a go at Lithium.
Okay,
We
we're in
played
for a
this
treat.
on our full set, but we're going to try and do it acoustic style. So bear with us.
I'm so happy, 'cause today I found my friends. They're in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you. Broke our mirrors, Sunday morning is every day for all I care. And I'm not scared, light my candle in a daze, 'cause I found God. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm so excited. Okay, I shaved my head, and I'm not sad. And just maybe I'm to blame for all I've heard, but I'm not sure. I'm so excited, I can't wait to meet you there. And I don't care, I'm so horny, that's okay, my will is good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I like it, I'm not gonna crack. I so happy, 'cause today I found my friends. They're in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you. Broke your mirrors. Sunday morning is every day for all I care, and I'm not scared. Light my candle in a daze, 'cause I found God. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I like it. I'm not gonna crack. I miss you. I'm not gonna crack. I love you. I'm not gonna crack. I killed you. I'm not gonna crack. I like it. I'm not gonna crack. I miss you. I'm not gonna crack. I love you. I'm not gonna crack. I killed you. I'm not gonna crack. Thank you.
So, what made you choose 90s stuff? Is this music you've always listened to, or?
Yeah, I think it's something we all liked. So when we started playing together, the four of us originally, we just built on songs that we'd played before. Some of the guys that played in other bands played those kind of things and built it all from there. But it's, me personally, it's what I grew up listening to. I was thinking as you were putting your paintings up earlier that I remember a lot of these albums coming out and seeing the bands, and it's like really is that era. But I've always enjoyed that kind of music, and sort of heavy guitar, grunge, that kind of pop punk thing was always my thing, and I think that's what we kind of just started playing, wasn't it?
I've listened to it a lot. For us as a band as well, when you're trying to market yourself, they say, what do you do? And you go 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 90s. People are like, that really covers everything. So that when we're playing songs, we're like, we need to trim it down a bit. We need to say we're 90s and 90s, and that's it. And there's songs we grew up listening to and the ones we know. And we had a massive list, and then we worked out ones we could actually play, and then we built up from there. So, but it's just, you always go back. People ask you what your favourite music is, favourite band is, and that's where I go back to. And I think it's the same for all of us. We go back to music that you listened to in your first car when you were 18, 19, and that's the songs you still listen to now, because they're the ones that really meant something to you then. So, and we try and do them justice. We can't do all them justice, but we do try every now and again.
No, I think you're doing a really good job. And is there a particular record that you think is one of the best, or what is your favourite 90s record?
For me, it's a band that probably, I'll see them up here in a bit, but they broke up really early, a band called Manson. And they released an album called Attack of the Grey Lantern, and that went on my first car stereo until it nearly wore out. And it's one of them ones where, growing up, I need to see this band, and they split up. And then you're like, I'm never going to get to see him, but I saw him doing his solo stuff. But it's just that album that just takes you back to where you were there, young, single, free, go wherever you want, and just put the music on your car and just listen to it. And that's what takes me back. What about for the rest of you?
That's a good story. I like that one. Yeah.
Well, I think Record Store Day is coming up, and there's a couple of records that I have an eye on. Sorry, I've saved up for them. And
not again.
There's one Soul Asylum MTV Unplugged, which hasn't been released. So quite excited about that one. And then Pearl Jam is their album called Yield, but they've called it Give Way because it's an Australian live recording. And the Yield sign in Australia is a Give Way sign. And I think in England it is too. Mm-hmm. So that's this Saturday. I'm going to be checking those out. And then there's other few bits and bobs that I'll have a look at.
Very good.
Mila, what about you? Have you got a favorite 90s band or record? Radiohead.
I grew up with
Portishead good.
Yeah, Portishead is great. Yes. That album with the blue cover, it's very iconic. I should try paint that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a great album, that is.
Okay, nice. So have we got a couple more songs tonight?
What do we do next? Weekend Hurts, yeah? Okay. All right.
2 more. Okay. So how about we play this one and then we go straight into the next and then we'll do a little chat at the end and say good night, unfortunately.
Right, okay. Week.
Lost in time, I can't count the words. Something I thought they went unheard. All of those harsh thoughts, so unkind, 'cause I wanted you. And now I sit here, I'm all alone. So here sits a bloody mess, tears fly home. Circle of angels deep in war, 'cause I wanted you. Weak as I am, no tears for you. Weak as I am, I'm no one's fool. Weak as I am, I'm no one's fool. Weak as I am. So what am I now? I'm love's last hope. I'm all of those soft words I once owned. If I open my heart, there'd be no space for air, 'cause I wanted you. Weak as I am, no tears for you. Weak as I am, no tears for you. Deep as I am, I'm no one's fool. Weak as I am. In this tainted soul, in this weak young heart, am I too much for you? In this tainted soul, in this deep young heart, am I too much for you? In this tainted soul, in this deep young heart, am I too much for you? Weak as I am, weak as I am, weak as I am, weak as I am, weak as I am. Am I too much for you? Weak as I am. Am I too much for you? Weak as I am. Am I too much for you? Weak as I am. Thank you. Okay, this is our last song. It's not 90s really, is it? It's noughties more, isn't it? I think. Oh, 60s as well. It's called Hurt. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, that old familiar still. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. The feelings disappear. You are someone else, and I'm still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would choose myself, I would find a way.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much to Warren for just always being supportive and being the nicest guy to like do stuff for. And thank you so much for coming out and watching.
That was just fantastic. It's, again, like a dream come true. I've just had my birthday, and that was the perfect birthday present. Kind of self-indulgent, because I obviously love this kind of stuff. And Skunk Anansi, Stoosh, off the album Stoosh, my favorite Skunk Anansi album. I think there was like 3 or 4. I can't find it anywhere on vinyl for a reasonable price. It's very expensive. But I got to see them live at the O2 Academy in Oxford, I think last year. And it was one of the best ever. And Skin said she loves me. Yeah. I remember shouting, "We love you!" And she pointed at me and she said, "And I love you!" I was like, yes. It's such a great song and such a great album. And I hear some heckling in the back there. What's going on? It's all true. I was with Frankie, and yeah, we had a great night. And then this last song, Hurt, 9 Inch Nails sang it, but you mentioned 60s. Was that also what?
Oh, just Johnny Cash.
Oh, Johnny Cash covered it.
Drawing back, so it's a Johnny Cash version, very much drawing on his 60s style of playing.
Ah.
The most unlikely clash of covers. But I've always thought it was a really beautiful arrangement of that song. And again, chatting amongst the band, we just thought Mila would do something amazing with the vocals on that. And that's the first time we've ever played it with her as well.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much
Just
cut.
then.
A debut. It was excellent. Excellent. Yeah, so Johnny Cash covered that in American 5, I think the album was called. And there was also a brilliant Depeche Mode cover, Personal Jesus, and there's a Bridge Over Troubled Water, I think. But that did stand out, and I thought, that's interesting, Johnny Cash covering a Nine Inch Nails tune. I had my Nine Inch Nails T-shirt on today, but it got all sweaty, so I changed into this one. Plus, this is a local band, Dream Phone, and yeah, wonderful arrangement. It sounded perfect, and such an honor to have all you amazing musicians with us tonight. And thank you, Tiger Mendoza. Thank you for doing the audio. Steve earlier for doing the audio for the first show. And Ian for the cinematography. And it's going to look amazing. And I can't wait till you can hear this recording through the podcast. And thank you for spending the evening with us and being part of this creative process. And I feel we'll have to end with a story about the drum really quickly, but it's guided us through, it's protected us. I managed to take it with me on the flight, and Bevan, who's my hippie brother, said, "Oh, it won't be a problem." We went on a journey together. We tried a bit of Durban poison, and it was heavy going, but he said he would help me get that drum on the flight. But he just said, yeah, just stick it in the boot, take it, tell them it's your drum. And that's what I did, and no one bothered me. It was like a religious artifact. People just said, that's fine, go through, or we'll put it here, or we'll do. I didn't have to pay any extra or anything. It just went with us. And it's lovely that it's been here tonight looking after us all.
Very good.
So thank you once again. Shed Sessions Unplugged at the White House. Good night. Bye.